I don't believe that I have. Oh, no, I don't have the date. All I know is by 2014, regional centers would have had to hire 661 service coordinators to comply.
For the community.
Yes.
And so we've but it doesn't tell you how far it goes back?
No, but I know that we have access to this information. Both of us do.
Okay, great. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And remember, we're just dealing with the facts. These are just facts. And I know it's a fact that since at least 2010, we've been out of compliance, because that's when I started my job at Golden Gate Regional Center. And I know I scared Jim Shorter away, but if you can hear the sound of my voice, know that we've heard you since 2010. At least since 2010, we've been out of compliance. But we'll look forward to the information that the department can provide and that our friends at ARCA can provide on this issue. Thank you very much to the panel for your information. We look forward to the ongoing conversation. We'd like to hear from the speakers, please. Thank you.
My name is Raymond Castro, and I came from San Luis Obispo. And I live on my own with support help. And every time when my support help leaves, I gotta retrain my new support help on my routine. And I cannot reach my goals. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a reminder to the speakers, if you could, 1 minute, and we want to make sure we hear from everyone. Thanks. Next speaker.
Hello, my name is Javier Zaldivar, and I am the Executive Director for San Andreas Regional Center. And it gratifies me to see so many people here in the audience who are individuals whom we serve. But the reason they're able to be here and I think live complete and full lives is by the support and the wonderful work that people have provided them that have made careers. It is not just a job for many of the providers and the regional center staff, it is a career. And when we're talking about careers, we really need to support everybody to make sure that they're able to live and to have an adequate wage and compensation. And I am comparing myself to the Silicon Valley, where if you go to a county Department of Family and Children, the starting wage for their social worker is $30,000 more than the top pay of our service coordinator. So we appreciate all of the comments that have been made, and in order to support the individuals, please consider the 10%.
Thank you.
Hi again. My name is Debbie Ellis, and I represent service providers for San Andreas Regional Center. Just one thing that I was just noticing on some of the comments here. I mean, has the members taken a look at what the median rate is? It certainly doesn't add up to what the cost of living is in that area. The median rate is across the state of California. Somebody in Silicon Valley, it just doesn't add up. It's a negative number. We're not going to be able to get providers in to do the work in these areas like Silicon Valley, San Francisco, Marin, for those median rates. And the other one thing I just wanted to add was, please, can you guys just look at the annual audit and suspend it until you guys can come up with a better way? It's costing us so much money. It doesn't make any sense. What have you found out? Nothing. I have not heard anything as a provider, and I've been doing this for 14 years. Yes, I will conclude. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Robert Scarson. I came here from St. Louis Obispo, and these are my needs. I lost four staff members in my home because of the budget cut. I wish we can keep them going and also lost my money for PM so I can't pay my bills. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Moore with Maxim Healthcare Services. I serve the Alta Regional Center. What we do is respite services. We also serve personal attendant services. We help people live more independently in their home. We just ask that this budget cut or the 10% is considered. It's hard to pay, a service caregiver $9 an hour minimum wage to take care of these people in their home that need so much. we have daily needs from parents, respite needs, and to get a caregiver to go out to a home for a child who is combative and who doesn't know any better, it's really rough to be able to not pay what they deserve. So please consider the 10%. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Ann Struthers. I am from the East Bay. Go East Bay. I'm also currently the president of Regional Center East Bay. We cover Alameda and Contra Costa counties. I'm also an employee of Contra Costa County and Social Services, so I'm fully aware of the disparities in the salaries paid between Regional Center and the county. But my primary role is as Todd's mom. Todd is turning 30 on Friday. He has autism. He's able to live independently with supports. And his independent living skills worker, I got to know her a little bit over the holidays, only to find that she is receiving CalFresh. She has to receive food stamps in order to put food on the table. And I should have known this, but I didn't. And I don't want our developmental disability system to have the reputation of being like Walmart and they're paying so low that their workers have to go on benefits. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, and thank you for my 60 seconds. I'm here on behalf of Renee, my severely developmentally disabled daughter, and the thousands of sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, moms, and dads who are unable to advocate and care for themselves due to their developmental disability. I'm also here on behalf of California's community-based developmental services programs, the regional centers, and most importantly, the care providers who provide care and supervision for our state's most needy citizens. Please take a moment when you're struggling with the budget and think about what it would be like if you had to entrust your loved one into the hands of care providers, the sense of loss, guilt, and worries that go along with that decision. On a personal note, the most difficult thing I've ever had to do was to turn my daughter over into the hands of professionals. Now think about the wonderful people who have dedicated themselves to help provide care for your loved one. All of us would want for the care providers to be compensated appropriately to the point where they were able to be stable in their jobs and focus on taking care of your loved one. As legislators, you have the awesome opportunity to do what is right and in the best interest for the most needy citizens of our great state. So many developmentally disabled individuals simply are not seen or heard, and they need a voice, and for our leaders to protect them. This is one of those opportunities for each of you. Please approve the 10% across-the-board funding increase now and 5% increases yearly until the funding for provider rates and regional centers are reformed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, members. My name is Jill Escher. I'm president of Autism Society San Francisco Bay Area and the mother of a son and a daughter who are both functionally incapacitated by severe forms of autism. I'm glad to see so many clients here today, but I could not bring my 16-year-old son. If he were here, he would run about and screech. He would rip off his clothes. He would chew on your furnishings. He would denude your carpet, and then he would run out that door to Lord knows where, and that would just be the start of it. I'm here to bring up the elephant in the room, and that is California's autism population is exploding in a near exponential fashion. California's adult autism population will double over the next 5 years and will triple over the next 10. They are entering a community system woefully unprepared to meet their very intensive needs. And there is, as yet, no long-term thinking and no plan for all the programs and housing that we will need in every single community throughout the state. For now, I ask your support for a sustainable budget and one responsive to the escalating challenge of adult autism in our state. 10% is the very least we could do. Thank you.
Thank you. And you're welcome to bring your son if you choose to. And if he decides to rip off his clothes and run around, that's between you and him. So.
Hello. I want to first say thank you for your time. My name is Elizabeth Drake. I'm living with cerebral palsy. I am an employer advocate at the agency called STEP, Strategies to Empower People. In my life I live on my own and work in my community. I also have high service needs and personal care needs, such as changing, eating, grooming and other basic needs. When I hire staff, it is hard to keep them. The amount of work and care they do does not compare to how much they are paid. So they quit. I have to start all over trying to look for staff. This interrupts my work and personal life. I have seen countless agencies go out of business due to not enough funding. I do not ever want to go back to a group home or go back to not enjoying life to the fullest. I enjoy my independence and being a valued member of my community and want to keep it that way. I urge you to please allow this 10% funding increase. Remember me when you vote. Once again, I thank you for your time. 10.
Thank you, Ms. Drake. Thank you very much.
Hi, just to put a face to her staff, I'm one of her staff for Elizabeth Drake. My name is October King. I represent the agency STEP, Strategies to Empower People. Just to make it quick, my story, I'm a mother, a college student, and also her caregiver. She has high service needs, as she stated before. I'm doing legit work in the privacy of her own home, and I believe that I deserve to get paid that way. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. Thank you for your patience for today in this hearing. We really appreciate this. My name is Carl London. I'm here on behalf of the California Disability Services Association. We have close to 100 community-based agencies statewide. I'm also a parent, also the current president of a local agency here in Sacramento. So I'm touching in this field on a lot of different angles. One of the biggest problems you have here that hasn't been talked about is the fact that back in the late 90s, we froze rates and decided that we would have a conversation about how we were going to set rates. We never fixed that. Nobody ever went back and picked that back up, and all the rates were just based off of those figures at that time. And what you see in this rate chart is just the history of what's happened since then. When you go back to 2006-07, you'll see we had an across-the-board increase, largely due to this budget subcommittee taking control of the issue, forcing it, with 3 legislators that were moms, one that was a brother, bipartisan group, that took a hold of this issue and urged the legislature and the governor to put the funding in like we're talking about today. We're revisiting this moment again, and this time we're coming to you with a different way of handling it. People always ask us, where are you going to get the money? It's sitting right there in the developmental centers. The faster you do this judo flip, the faster you'll have the money available to help fix the community and make it better for 280,000 people, not 1,000. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Dan Hoag, Los Trompas. I'm the executive director, and it's a sad day when I actually have to air dirty laundry in a public forum like this, but you want to know what it's really like. Recently, I had to have a conversation with our regional center informing them that we're going to be closing 2 of our residential facilities. These residential facilities operate at a $5,000 to $7,000 per month loss each. This is creating a $250,000 deficit in our overall budget, which our $5 million budget runs a $400,000 deficit each year. We are eating up our reserve funds. We are getting close to the point of emergency where we are going to have to look at even closing other programs besides our residential programs. The closure of these two residential programs displaces 12 clients. It also displaces about 20 staff that will need jobs and so forth. So it is a big impact. So when you say we're not sure that programs are closing because of rates, programs are closing because of rates. And we need this increase now. Our $500,000 deficit, our $400,000 deficit, that doesn't include the $350,000 that we do in fundraising every year. So the gap in a $5 million budget is truly $850,000. That's more than 10%. Let's do something. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm going to invite you to work with our staff. I know your agency, and it serves very close to my district, and we want to make sure that we track the situation as we work with you. So before you go, if you could speak with my staff, we want to make sure we're able to track that situation as we go forward. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, members of the committee. My name is Andy Mack. I represent the ARC of Ventura County. I'm not here to tell you that we're going to be shutting down services and programs. I'm telling you that we have. Unfortunately, we've shut down our residential services and displaced people. We've shut down our after-school program, so we don't even service kids. And you got to know that if you get kids early, and no matter what it is you're coaching them up on, they have a better chance of success. So that's a problem right there in itself. If we get our 10%, I can tell you we can stop shutting things down. But if you don't want to come back here in the next 5 years, you have to reform. Otherwise, that hill's too big to climb. So inflation's here, the rate's here. The 10% gets us here, but if that's all we do, it's still going to go up and up. So if we don't reform, we're going to be in this room again in 5 years. And I don't want to do that. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Sorry about the closure. And again, we'll be collecting information about closure. So if you could work with our staff, we want to have that information as we go forward. Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker.
Hi, my name is Donna Feingold. I'm the director of an agency called the Adaptive Learning Center in Concord, California. And I'm here just because I've seen the system, watch it deteriorate over 27 years. That's how long I've been in California. And I think ARCA's, see that A and R still come out on me every once in a while. I'm from Boston. ARCA's paper on, the system on the brink of collapse really is a great summary of where we are at. As a director, about 70% of our funds go into our staffing. And I think we all here, every person in this room, we value every citizen, our most vulnerable citizens. And if we do that, we must value the direct care staff who support them and help them to be as independent as possible. Please support the Lanterman Coalition's 10% increase. It's just a start. I've been around. There's been so many studies on how to fix the wage system. I mean, if you look on your shelves, you've seen that this has been done so many times, but it hasn't been fixed. And just to piggyback on what was just said, we won't be here in 5 years. Half the people in this room won't be here in 5 years if we don't start making some changes today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Joanne Giardello, and I share a home with my sister Tony Marie Giardello, who has both physical and developmental disabilities. Though many doctors encouraged our family to place her in a state hospital due to their perceived level of her care needs. I am also a case management supervisor at North Bay Regional Center. And through both these life experiences over the past 30-plus years, I have seen our system progress and regress. And unfortunately, it is very clear that our system is in a serious state of regression. When I started the system, and during those 30-plus years, I earned $10 an hour as a vocational specialist. My sister right now, the specialist that serves her, receives the same amount of money, $10 an hour. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Joan Schmidt. I'm a parent, and I also have a supported living agency. My son, 24 years ago, received a letter from one of the developmental centers saying that his behavior was too aberrant for him to attend, so I hung it on my wall next to my child that was turned down at Stanford, and we have kept that letter. But he's lived in the community now for 24 years. After doing a parent vendorship, we have put together, my son and I, a supported living agency. We've replicated what has worked so well. So we have many, many stories of success. Today, I want to specifically thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee, for the most realistic, logical conversation I've heard in this room in many years. And I thank you very much for that, because I know it's not easy to sit there and listen to so many people. But we have such honest problems. I'm also a member of the California Supported Living Network, and I know we are already collecting data and would be happy to share, so the network will be working with department to do that. I'm going to end with what my son said when I said he can be difficult, but he wanted to come today. Wouldn't you like to come and fight for our services? He said, why should I have to testify for my life? I just want to live.
Your son Will said, thank you, and we look forward to the data. Thank you.
Carlene Holden with Easter Seals. I, too, am grateful. Really great hearing. I think it was great testimony on the numbers. Our experience certainly verifies the accuracy of the presentations that were given to you, and I'm very optimistic. Thank you for your leadership.
Thank you.
Michelle Ramirez again on my own independent living services. I just want to say that I don't know any time in the history of California where an industry has sustained $1 billion of consistent cuts over 10 years, coupled with continual unfunded mandates, and an influx to our actual population that we serve all together. And then we're expecting businesses to stay in business and viable with those constraints. Please strongly consider that 10%. Please, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Eleni Yalarikis. I'm with Capital Social Services. We teach independent living skills, and we also do personal attendant services. We are a median rate agency, and our personal attendant services are probably some of the lowest funded services through the regional center. And unfortunately, we don't meet the requirements for the proposed funding, so we're being lowest funded and then not getting the rate increases is very devastating, and it's, we're having hard conversations about can we continue those services. The 10% increase, I think, is necessary. There's a lot of agencies that have sustained the freezes throughout the years, but these 10% would cover median rate agencies like mine as well. So I really appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to share some comments. My name is Kim Dodd. I'm from Trinity Change Supported Living. We operate in Silicon Valley. I did provide a letter because I knew I'd have trouble getting everything in enough time. But basically, I wanted to say very briefly, in September of 2014, we were serving 24 people in Silicon Valley. As of April 1st, we will be serving 20 people, and we are not accepting referrals because we don't know how to live within our means unless we get a rate increase. So these are very real issues. My heart is in this. My son is 32 years old, has autism, and he's been successfully living in his own home for 11 years. His live-in attendant does a phenomenal job, and I am so embarrassed that I am not able to pay him better and the other 80 employees for our agency. So please consider the 10%. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sarah Feldstad. I'm a sister of a woman supported by the Regional Center, and I'm also an employee of Golden Gate Regional Center. I'm here today on behalf of many of the people we support who couldn't be here today, and I have almost 75 letters from them to the committee members. And we're joining the chorus and saying we need a 10% increase now, but we also need comprehensive funding reform to avoid losing billions in federal dollars. So please think of us in your budget negotiations.
Thank you so much.
Can I get
the sergeants will be happy to take that for you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Nickel-Rather, and I'm working for Golden Gate Regional Center. It has been said over and over again that, and I believe strongly in that societies put their money to where their values are. That means one can measure any society's values by looking where they're willing to spend money. Having heard over and over testimony of how underfunded our system has been, I think we really have to take a hard look at to where our values are as a society and push that forward. So I know you guys are in tough budget negotiations, but I urge you to translate your values into funding a system that allows people to live meaningful lives in places they choose. Thank you.
Good to see my former colleague. Thank you, Ms. Nickel-Rather. Pass along my hellos. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Donna Betancourt, and I've lost my reading glasses, so I have very small print. But I'm retiring in May after a 40-year career here in Sacramento. I started out as a service coordinator at Kern Regional Center, and I can tell you then I had 75 open cases and 20 banked cases. So I know back at 75 we were out of compliance too.
We just got our facts. Thank you very much.
That's a big penalty, huh? So I'm wearing today a button that says raise the rates in 98. And every year when I come here, I cross it off and put 99, 2000. We're here at 2015 and we haven't raised the rates. I was there at the beginnings. The Lanterman Act traced a trajectory of hope for people in California that was amazing when I came into the field and moved into being able to start supported employment services, starting supported living in 1992. And that trajectory just stalled. So I'm here to say that we need to raise the rates in 2015. The knowledge, the skill, the commitment, they're all here, they're in the community, but they're not going to be tomorrow. So please raise our rates.
Thank you. Let's hope we don't have to have any more buttons for next year either. Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Rachel Huff. I'm the president of Tri-Counties Regional Center, Ventura, Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo counties, and I'm a mother. And I'm here, first I want to say, Chairman, how much I appreciate you talking about the people that we serve by saying the people that we serve. It really means a lot. In our area, it is very hard to find people that can afford to have people that can work for the amount of money that we offer at the median rate. I would advocate absolutely for the 10%, but I also want to go back to what we talked about earlier, and that's the promise, the entitlement that we said we would give the people of California, the 280,000 plus people that we serve, that we made a promise that we would serve them and we would provide them with people to serve them, and we need to be able to continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Forrest Huff, and I'm currently 10 years old, and when I was 2, I had autism. I was lucky enough to get service. Now I don't have it anymore, but there's still plenty of people that have it and have to live through it, and it's not an easy thing. And with all the budget cuts, they haven't been able to get service for it, and they've been stuck with it. And if you just give us a 10% increase, there'd be many more people in the world that live a normal life and a happier life. Thank you.
Mr. Worseth, stay right there for 1 second, because I don't, I'm a little older than 10. I don't know that I could do what you just did. And, there's going to be some openings here in 12 years for someone who wants to be in the assembly. So I just want to commend you for being here today, for your advocacy, and keep up the good work, Worseth. Thank you very much.
My name is Ron Fell. I've been a volunteer in the developmentally disabled system since 1998, never drawn a penny for anything that I've done. I started as a day program volunteer at the Janet Pomeroy Center, which was then known as the Recreation Center for the Handicapped. I'm now in my 3rd year serving as the board chair for Golden Gate Regional Center. I'm also a member of the executive committee for ARCA. I was also, going back to 2003, I was chair of the Golden Gate Regional Center Executive Search Committee that hired Jim Shorter. So you can thank me for that.
Tell him I said sorry for today.
Yeah, will do. I had all sorts of things that I wanted to cover today, but I decided I just want to focus on one thing, and that's the incomplete portion of your question that was so probing about the caseload ratios. You've asked pretty much everything except why. Why are the caseload ratios out of whack? Why is every single regional center in California out of compliance? And I'll tell you there are 2 things. One is because of the core staffing formula, we can't pay enough in the first place. And if we are able to hire competent caseworkers, we're competing with the city of San Francisco that's paying 60% more. And then we lose the people that we hire. And it's a vicious cycle. So unless you can raise the minimum through getting rid of the damn core staffing formula, or whatever it takes, and give us enough money to be able to hire the 600 people that we're short in the system in the state right now. The fact that we're out of compliance now, dealing with the feds on the developmental center at Sonoma, that's going to seem like a Super Bowl party compared to what's going to go on when we lose $2 billion for being out of compliance on caseload ratios statewide. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Boyd Bradshaw. I'm president of Res Coalition, which is a business league for residential care providers. We have just over 1,000 members here across the state. And we are also a member of the DS task force. And some of the data you're asking is actually rather intriguing with regards to residential care. Between 2001 and 2013, there's been a net decrease in the number of beds in the state. This net decrease has occurred despite the fact that there has been an aggressive move to close Agnews and Lanterman by increasing the number of beds in the community. This means that the traditional normal residential care facilities in the state are closing at an alarming rate. I myself have had to suffer that fate because I have 2 children's programs that I closed just last year. Talking to DDS about it, they've indicated they're going to go ahead and try and reallocate some money, CPP money, to open children's homes, but that we wouldn't have to open if we were able to stay open with the current rate structure. I want to encourage you to take the time to slow down and pay attention to Marty Moto's comments and his recommendations, because we definitely need to look at the DS task force as a stepping stone moving forward. And within that structure, there are a number of things that we do need to triage to try and address a lot more quickly. This 10% is an excellent step in the right direction, but ladies and gentlemen, it is just a Band-Aid. It does not begin to deal with the problems. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tim Hoban. I'm a father of a 30-year-old daughter with disabilities. Followed the field for probably 40 years. Got my first job, my volunteer job at Sonoma State Hospital in about 1971. And from that experience, decided I wanted to teach, and have done that for 30 years since. I want to first highly urge you to support the 10% raise and the increased 5% raises from that point on, and look at that rate structure, the funding whole mechanism to think about that. I can tell you on the ground with my daughter, who's in supported living, that currently she has lost care providers already, and that's a tragedy both for my daughter and for some of those people that have so much to offer but have to quit the field because of the cost. I went to the University of California and personally tried to recruit about 40 university students in Davis. Of those, only one person actually took the job because of the wages and because of the difficulty of the work. So I feel what's being asked is the barest of minimums, and I have hopes we can put our heart into this work.
Thank you.